All right. Think we ready to rock and roll, y'all. We looking good on every platform that we're streaming on today. I fixed the camera, figured out what was going on with that. But other than that, I actually got to fix the focus a little bit. I'm not really liking the focus. But appreciate everybody tuning in that's here today. Appreciate every little. I be getting tongue twisted, don't mind me. But I appreciate everybody tuning in today. It means a lot, first and foremost. Just checking everything, make sure everything look good. Sometimes the stream tends to skip out. I'm still working on the bugs with that, but for the most part, look like we're doing good so far. Yeah, let me know down in the comments how everything is looking. Does it look good? So we got some new followers, so we appreciate everybody that's following. Thank you for that. Don't really have a topic to talk about today, but I'm here. Just want to see what everybody got going on. You know, the GPS 180 is happening this Saturday. So we're expecting to see a lot of people come through from Wednesday, which is tomorrow, until the event and even after the event. So I'm super stoked to see. I'm not recording. Yes, I was. Super stoked to see everybody that's going to be showing up. Thanks to everybody that's on Facebook watching. Thanks to everybody that's on YouTube watching. Thanks, Zach, for watching this, man. Appreciate the support, my dog. Right now, we are just here. I know I missed out on a lot of questions yesterday, so I just want to get back to those questions. Alvaro, what's going on, my man? He's tuning in on Facebook, y'all. What's going on? Appreciate it. Welcome to the live stream about mini bike talk. Yeah, I still feel like I'm one of the only people out here doing something like this for mini bikes and small engines and whatnot. So this is something big. You know, I got the red bike back there. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with that. The engine, I gotta start putting it together soon. I think I'm missing a few parts like the head. I have a head choice, but I'm missing the head. I have a carburetor choice already, but not gonna release that information yet. Cam choice, rocker choice, push rod choice, and other than that, we all good to go. So once I get the cam, I'm pretty much gonna start the process of building it because I am going to need to clear the cam with the crank. So hopefully I get some footage of that. What else? Shout out to Mini Vehicless. He just sold a bike to Rick Ross, so that's big for the mini bike community. So shout out to him for that. That's something huge. Who else is up in here? I can't see who in here on YouTube. Nobody on YouTube said nothing yet. North Crowd representing, looking good. Hey, appreciate you, my guy. And that was Leonard. Yeah, Leonard, appreciate it, my G. I know a lot of people dropped some questions yesterday that I get a chance to answer, so feel free to drop those questions just so I can get those answered. And yeah, what can I talk about today? I guess I'm gonna talk about fuel pumps because mine went out. I have an extra one that I'm actually gonna switch over from the one I currently have on a red bike, just to see. I don't want to test the bike because I did say I want to give it a rest because it is time for a rebuild. So, I guess we will talk about. Hello, mother. Thank you for tuning in, my mother. Shout out to my mom for tuning in, y'all. Oh my gosh, these things are annoying. All right, so I guess we go talk about fuel systems and a different type of fuel that we run for some of our mini bikes, and the importance of what brand fuel pump would you prefer. I prefer using Mikuni fuel pumps right here. Cost about 30 some odd dollars. To me, they're high quality, made real good. It may be some type of cast aluminum or some type of cast material. In my opinion, they're pretty good. I haven't broken one yet. I let M5 sit in here for too long and just corroded pretty much whatever's on the inside. And I might just take one apart because I've never seen one on the inside. But I don't think I got a screwdriver because I ain't got no tools over here. So I will go with the Mikuni fuel pump. That's just personal preference. You know, I have used the plastic ones, but what I like to call the exits or the entrances of the fuel pumps, I like to call them the ears. M5 corrodes plastic. It gets hard, solid, and tends to break. So whenever you change the fuel line, once your fuel line gets rough, solid as a rock, and you try to pull it off, it just detaches and breaks off. Boom. That's why I choose to go with the Makunis. I haven't broken one yet. This is a Makuni off the bike that I fell on, so I could say, you feel me, it stands pretty solid in my opinion. What size nibby would you recommend for a 212, 32, 28 valve head? All right, for those who don't know what he mean by 32, 28, I can give you an exact example. If I had my box, there go my box. All right, we are breaking out the head box. Once again, these heads are not finished, so I'm gonna show you exactly what he's talking about when he says 32, 28. So I got my my bag of springs and valves. Let me find the intake valve and the exhaust valve. Nope. Oops. Kevin, what's going on, my Jeep? All right. Let's see what he talking about, y'all. Now, when my man is referring to 3228, he is referring to the valves that are going to sit inside the head itself. This is your head, and this is the valve pockets where it's going to sit. This head is not finished and need a valve job so the heads can seat properly without leaking out. Now, so basically, this is a 3228 big valve head. Now, your intake is 32 millimeters, and wait, is it millimeters or I forgot the measurement size, but this is your 32 end of your head intake, and your exit will be the 28. And when the valves are inside your head, they pretty much go, let's see if I can get it. They pretty much go boom, boom, what is it? It's boom, 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 boom. Then at one slight chance and one time of the revolution of the engine, they stay open pretty much similar at the same time and close and exit. So that's what he's referring to when he say 3228. He is referring to the head the valves that he's going to be putting in his head, as you can see. Tillotson head, yellow. I am a big advocate of Tillotson, and that's just what I do. All my heads are pretty much Tillotson. So that's what he's referring to when it comes to 3228. Yes, I do port the heads. Ported this head. I can show you how to port. It's not pretty, but hey, it's something, right? It is something. A lot of people tend to go big on ports, as in intakes and exhausts. I didn't go super big on the head, just because of the fact that it's time consuming, and all ports pretty much go based off the build of the head itself. That's crazy. I wonder if you could run a head without no valve job. But for the carburetor aspect of it, I believe it sounds like you may be running a stage 2 bottom end style head with, it's either the stage 4 head or stage 5 head. If you're running a Nibby carburetor, I'm not too big of a Nibby fan, me personally. I will go with either a 26 or a 28, depending on the fuel that you're using, and just depending on your skills of being able to tune your carburetor properly. Not only say that because you could put any carburetor on your engine, but if it's not jetted correctly or tuned correctly, it will not run properly. But if you do want to save up a little more and get something that's better quality, me personally, I would go with a Makuni, just because of the simple fact that it is a well quality built carburetor that can take a beating. Yes, and I am an advocate for Mikuni also. So that's why I would say go with a Mikuni if you can, but if you gotta go with the Nibby, I would go either 26 or 28. 22, it'll run, just not gonna give you the performance that you want. 24, in my opinion, is on your way up, but it's still low on performance. Then 26 is 28, that's where you're gonna be getting your best top end and bottom end speed out of that carburetor. Jupiter Jack, Mikuni are fast, Nibby kids are slow. What's going on, my G? 28 PWK Nibby. Now, you know, it becomes a personal preference, and once again, like I said, your ability to be able to tune and jet your carburetor to what you're doing. Sup, bro, New Orleans in the house. Thomas, appreciate you, my guy, for tuning in. Big shout out to my guy, Thomas. Appreciate it, man. It's lit. Somebody just gave me a shout out from Atlanta earlier, so thank you. So I appreciate that. Let's see here. What size jet is good for Florida? It's good for Florida on VM22 clone. That I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly off point, but I know a lot of people start off with the 130 main jet and the 17.5 pilot jet for VM22 running on pump gas. So that's usually what people start off at. Me, I don't know my jet sizes. I just take a drill bit, drill it out. When it works, it works. It's my personal bike, so I really just don't pay attention for that. Tyler said, really bought it for the convenience because it comes with the stainless steel valves and already has 40-pound springs. Yes, it does. That is also true. What's up, Dudu? Got that one. Tyler also said Nibby for the win. I tried both. Nibby blows it out the water. Oh, no. What you're not about to do is come on this stream and try to talk about Mikuni like that, my guy. Nah, it's all a personal preference. But me, I'm a big advocate for PWKs and Mikuni. I'm struggling to tune the VM22. A lot of times, when it comes to VM22s, it usually comes down to the jets, which, like any carburetor, the jets, the needle position, and the air to fuel mixture screw. Wherever you have it set at, that really becomes the biggest thing when it comes to it. On the stock Ghost, you can't come on this stream talking about any Ghosts, any 224s, no, none of that. We do Tillotson over here. Matter of fact, where my jacket at? I need a poster. I need a Tillotson poster. That's what I'm getting next. I'm going to get me a Tillotson poster up here because y'all keep coming on here talking about these other products and these other people, man. It's really Tillotson all the way. It's Tillotson all the way. Matter of fact, let me go get my Tillotson hat. Hold on. Y'all think I'm playing. I'm finna go ahead and pull that Tillotson hat out, y'all. I really don't want to wear this hat just because of the simple fact that I really do like it. So I'm gonna just show y'all the hat instead. But yeah, it's Tillotson all day. Now this is a go-kart hat, I know. But the T4 is one of the carts that we sell also that they offer. So if you're looking for a go-kart, track ready, T4. But back to what I was talking about. Shout out to my man Paul in the building, my guy. Come on. Jupiter Jack said you gotta be a master tuner for Nibbies. I'm just, personal preference, I'm just not a Nibby type guy. I'd rather go to a Mikuni of some sort. But a Nibby, nah. What you won't see is a Nibby on any of my bikes. That's what's not gonna happen. Zach said, mostly everyone's sending these carbs out to get them set for meth anyway. That is true. But when it comes down to the names, I will not be running a Nibby on any of my products. Not playing. It's a joke, y'all. Don't take me serious. Methanol makes bikes run totally different from gas. Methanol does just because of the simple fact, the way it burns, how fast it burns, and the temperature that it burns at. From my understanding, that's what it means. As you see, a lot of the other race cars and race enthusiasts, there's so many styles of race fuel the fuel that the two strokes race with, the fuel that I use, like M5. So it really all boils down to what type of fuel you're going to be running. LOL, the Ghost. I only use Ghost for cruiser bikes. Yes. So Ghost and 224s are cruiser engines in my case. If they're out the box, they run totally fine, no problem. Once you start upgrading them, try to do little tricks and tasks to them, unless you have the knowledge, the experience of engine building, it will become a headache. It's a big, fun project if you're trying to get open to learning how to build engines and doing different things of that sort and that nature. But 224 to start freshly building, if you don't have the tools or knowledge, it will be difficult. I know there are videos out here on YouTube that show people how to build different things. I just not a big personal preference of a 224 friend. Wait, I gotta plug my phone up, y'all. Hold up. Deuces, Paul. I seen Paul say he out of here. Everybody say bye to Paul. Hey, Paul, I got your order too. Somebody tell Paul I can pick up his order. Hayden said I just got an Autolite spark plug with the governor removal and a max torque clutch, and the motor's vented, so basically stock plus carburetor. Nibby is plug and go, easiest carb. Oh my gosh. I'm starting to yawn already. It's not even late yet. It's like, it is still super early. I don't see why it's going on like that. Like, I don't know what's going on. What are your thoughts on the Hiller Extreme Duty clutch? Are they good? Brought this up before. I speak a lot, different styles of clutches for depending on what you're doing it and how you're going to be use it. I feel like a Hiller will be a good cruise around clutch that gives you a good takeoff, good top end. But when it comes down to racing and having a clutch that's going to take power, I would not prefer it. Honestly, I feel like a max torque would possibly last longer than a Hiller. Now, some people have had very good experiences with the Hiller. Me personally, I just haven't, so that's why I'm not really, open to the fact that I'm not saying it's a terrible clutch. Once again, this is all personal preference, so don't take my advice and run with it. If you want to use it, feel free to use it. That's your money, that is your decision. But me personally, I'm just not a big fan of the Hiller. Hayden said, what clutch is the best clutch for cruising and street racing? So I honestly get this question a lot. When it comes to racing and cruising, you can be in the middle of both, but it tends to be hard depending on how your bike is set up and the way you have your bike is set up. Tongue twister. If you're looking for a clutch that's going to last you longevity-wise, take abuse, have a good sound to it, I would go personal preference with the Premier Titan, just because of the fact that I have used a lot of them and the simple fact that I've used a lot of them. Now, like any other clutch, none of these parts are made to do pretty much what they're doing. Actually, I'm lying. Those clutches are made for that reason, but it's a mini bike. None of this stuff is really made to do what we do. So things do break, springs break, shoes wear out, depending on what you're doing. And that's really it. Let me check Facebook, make sure I'm not missing out on anybody. Let's see here. James said, bro, can you help me with a build if I DM you? I would do my best, most definitely would do my best. I can't make any promises, but yes, I would do my best. If you do want to DM me, please DM me either through my email or on Instagram. Facebook, I don't really check like that just because there's so many other social media platforms that I use that I try to keep up with, and it tends to become rough and, I can't get to everything. But my main platforms that I will be answering will be Instagram, possibly TikTok, and my email. I check every day just because of the simple fact that I work. And you can email me at daedae@gopowersports.com, and we can talk back and forth over email, and I can help you get situated with that. Buying a Honda is like buying a house and furniture just expensive for no reason. Now, Honda, when it comes to the Honda blocks, they are good cast-made blocks. I'm not going to say they're better than Tillotson, but they are a good cast-made block, and they are super expensive. I remember about 7 years ago, in order to buy a complete Honda stock brand new, was at least like $600 or $700 from any lawnmower shop that you went to, just because of some fact that they are good. Years ago, those were the first like 3 inches that we used, 3 inch. Those are the first engines that we used to sleeve for a 3-inch piston, just because the casting held up. Yes, we did have to weld supports and do everything else for the block. And when I mean weld supports, let me bring my Tillotson engine over here so I can demonstrate. With any engine, unless it's reinforced already from the manufacturer, like the Tillotson racing block, this block is reinforced and pretty much ready for whatever is thrown at it, depending on what you're doing for it and how big of a piston and how much horsepower you're putting down to it, you feel me? With the Honda blocks, usually we like to reinforce the top. I forget the name of that, just because of the block flex. They like to weld grommets in the inside just so the block wouldn't flex or break, or tabs or any bolts wouldn't strip. So that was the first engine that we had on the market that was the best at the time, just because of the fact that it came with casting that was pretty much okay used and it held up pretty good, you know. But now we got the Tillotson blocks, and you buy you a Tilly block, you good to go already just off the rip. Shout out to Road Runners in the building. Shout out to my guy Lucas for tuning in. G, I appreciate y'all. Everybody back home. Appreciate everybody tuning in and supporting, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see here. How much is that? Somebody replied 200, but I promise it's worth it. It lasts. Yes. I remember one time, shout out to my boy OG Tony from from Clutch Game. When I got out the mini bike game for a short time, I sold a lot of my stuff. I ended up selling him a Premier for 40 bucks. If you know how expensive a Premier is, it was just like, let me get rid of it. Well, you gotta remember, most of us are less than a year into mini bikes, and you've been into it, so we gotta learn through the paces of starting with Predators, which is totally fine. You know, like I said, this is just my personal preference and advice. You know, I'm not, you know, I don't know anybody's financial situation or budget when it comes to a build. This is just my personal preference if you have the funds to go that route, just because of the simple fact that I've been doing this for quite a minute, and I have went through the trials and tribulations and different parts and different brands of working with different engines, clutches, carburetors, and everything. But if that's all you can work with at the moment, totally fine. Trust and believe. I was at that point in time in life too. Not better than anybody. Parts I use is just me with personal preference for what I'm trying to do and trying to accomplish with my build, you know. But once again, mini bikes are not cheap. They are affordable, yes, but they are not cheap, man. Hey, Tyler sent $5, y'all. We lit. Oh man, hold up. Oh, we finna celebrate. How we celebrate? Shout out to Tyler, man. Appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate that. That is big. Tyler sent me $5, y'all. Man. Thank you, Tyler. He said read the comments faster. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to keep up with everybody, but I'm also trying to give everybody a good explanation just so they can understand why and how. You know, I don't want to give anybody short answers and they don't get the full experience of the knowledge, you know. But I'm working with you. Appreciate that, man. He sent $5, man. Thank you. Shout out to Jake Mo for tuning in on Facebook. Yeah. Jupiter said, yes, everyone buys Hillard. Shoot, their prices up, so other clutches go down in prices. Jupiter Jack, way better casting. Zach Solomon, the 3-inch Honda board is cheaper than the Tilly, just never in stock. Shout out to Robert for tuning in on Facebook, man. Lucas said mini bikes are not cheap. No, they are not. They are affordable, but they're not cheap, you know. Blake Garrett, thank you for tuning in, my guy. Sylvester said, aren't some of the cams interchangeable with predators and blocks? I don't want to say yes, but in some cases they are, depending on the block that you're using, depends on the side cover that you're using. It's many variables and factors of that. Shout out to Anthony Morales for tuning in from AZ. Appreciate you, my G. But it really depends on what you're going for. Take your time. The answers are good and well presented. Appreciate you. Just trying to make sure everybody gets a good answer to their question, you know. Tyler said after you get a flat top piston and use thinner head gasket, you should be venting with the catch kind, not vent lines to the head. You're not actually venting it in that way. Yes, that is a good explanation. I wish I had an engine off the table. So when he means venting, let me give you a good example of it. I got a side cover here and I got a head. I just don't have any head bolts, but bear with me, everybody. I guess I use this side cover because this is one that goes with it. All right. When he refers to the venting of a head, we have our side cover that I use to vent mine, and we have our engine block, right? So I'm going to slide back a little bit. Hold on. I'm going to slide back a little bit just so y'all can see me nice and clear. Now, your side cover sits on the side of your block as so. Right. Check me out. Hold on. I'm not trying to scratch the casting. I haven't even put the motor together and I'm already scratching it. All right. Boom. Your side cover is going to sit on here as so. Put a head. Actually, I might just be able to give you a demonstration using a red bike, which may be easier. And your head is going to be on there as, oh, man. I'm excited. This engine looks good. It is. There's nothing in it. Now, when you refer to the venting of it, when you start making high RPMs, even at low RPMs, your engine is going to have crankcase pressure, meaning when your crank is revolving around, when your rod is revolving around your crank and doing rotations inside the block, as it's the same thing with water in a water bottle. You have water right here, but there's going to be some level of air or oxygen inside that bottle. Now, once you start getting up to speed, the air starts to move around faster and faster, and it's causing that to have the air try to push itself out somewhere possible that it can. Now, when your engine is not vented correctly, it will push out the seals from your side cover or on the side of your block that we have a seal right here for your crank. Now, the air has to find somewhere to escape just so it doesn't completely, I don't know what would happen besides the seal blowing, but the air has to find somewhere to escape. So when your engine is not vented properly, it finds somewhere to escape, usually causing the seals to pretty much bust. The light is not even on my face. Hold on. This is terrible. Now, a good way to vent it properly, I would just demonstrate. I wonder if I can sit. Y'all think if I sit this bike on this chair, y'all think if I sit this bike on this chair, it's going to collapse? We finna try it. Hold on. Y'all be patient, because I'm trying to give y'all a good demonstration of it. I need to get a table or crap. I need to get a table or some type of mini bike stand. All right. Let's test it. I should be fine. Make sure my light is good and everything so y'all can see properly. I'm actually going to turn up the light even brighter just so y'all can get a good look at it. All right, cranking up the light, y'all. We are cranking up the light. I just want y'all to be able to see very good. All right, so we'll come over here. This is a terrible idea, but I'm actually going to try to put it on from the back side of it. All right, work with me, y'all. All right, let's see here. All right, that's not as bad as I thought, but light might be too bright. But as you can see here, my engine on the red bike is vented. Let's see if I bring it a little closer. Right there should be good. All right, as you can see, my engine is vented from the side cover into the head, and it blows out into the catch can, out into the atmosphere. Now, with lower horsepower engines, you may be able to get away with just venting from the crankcase back into the valve cover, but then that's not allowing any air really to escape. I'm tired, that's out of breath. So yeah, I just wanted to give y'all a look at it just so y'all can see. I'm using a billet valve cover with the spacer just so I have enough fittings to be able to have both fittings with the post fittings coming out the side cover into the head and one going out from the head. Let's see if I can show my catch can. Coming out the head into the catch can and out the catch can back into the atmosphere. All right, that's the sketchiest thing I ever done. So let's take this bike off my chair so I can sit back down. Oh. I need to find some type of way to get a mini bike stand or something because I can't keep putting this bike in this chair. All right. Ugh. And I keep scratching my walls. All right, let's turn this light back down because it is extremely bright on my face and I'm gonna be able to see and read the comments. Give me 1 second, y'all, bear with me. Whew. All right, I'm back and it's hot. All right, so hopefully I was able to answer the question about the venting of the engine and what causes it. What happens when the engine is not vented properly. Jake Mo sent 99 stars, y'all. We lit. Hold on. Hey, man. Thank you, Jake Mo. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, my guy. Hayden said, what budget frames you guys run? All right. Another one. Now, really becomes personal preference at this point. Because, you know, you got what I run, GTs. We have cat frames. We have Motovox frames. We have bird frames. We have Kumali race and drag frames. We got RCF frames. We got Go Power Sports frames. We got Motovoxes. We got Comans. We have many different versions of a mini bike frame. Now, it all depends on what you're doing with your mini bike and the goals that you are trying to achieve for your mini bike. That's why I would say start. I have GT's frames because I drag race, and plus I've been riding on GT's frames for the past 4 or 5 years now. So that's my frame that I personally prefer at the moment. You know, Go Power Sports is coming out with the new drag frame soon, so I will be graduating up to a track style mini bike. So that's what I do. I know a lot of people that use Mega Moto frames, Motovox frames, Coleman frames, just many different styles of any mini bike frame. Even I'm trying to think of some old school frames. Let's see, Temecula Bob frames, Joe's mini bikes frames. So it really just all goes another thing, your budget for one, what you're trying to do with the bike, and the goals that you're trying to achieve with your bike. Because you might just want to build a nice custom trike. Even you might just want to build a trike mini bike, and you just want to go to shows and ride with it in the back of your truck. Or you might want a little CT100 or Maverick mini bike where you could just cruise around. Or if it's for a kid, they might want a Maverick or a Mega Moto 80 or Motovox. You know, it just all depends on the rider, the goal, and what you're going to use it for. Or even a doodlebug, yes, doodlebugs. Aiden said I got 5 MM80/105s. I want to buy like a back alley mini bike frame or GTs. Once again, it all goes based off your personal preference and what you're gonna do with the bike. All right, 921 Jam said, I'm building my first mini bike. What is a fast cruiser motor? I looked at the 225 you talked about, but it doesn't have a tank. Now, let's see here. Let's go Power Sports website real quick. Let's pull up the 225. Let's see if it have tank mounts for a gas tank. Can't remember off the top of my head, but we're finna take a look at it right now. Oh, it doesn't. Now, which is not a problem because as you can see, right, I have gas tank mounts without an actual gas tank being on the engine. I have a cylinder style gas tank. So I really like the whole look of being able to see the venting tubes of the gas tank rather than just having a gas tank sit on top. That's why, for one, I went with the cylinder gas tank. So that is not a problem at all. It's always options and possibilities for gas tank relocations on your frame. I know some people even have them on the rear of their bike. I know some people with a Megamoto 212 that has a full gas tank on the rack of their bike. So it really goes off the way you're creating your bike to look like. That's why mini bikes are so dope, because you really get to make your own creation and really get to sit back and think clearly about how you want your bike to look and just a different style of cosmetics, you know. Shout out to Devin. His wife actually put sparkles on her suspension and on the rest of the bike just because she liked to trick her bike out the way she want. I like chrome and nice flashy candy looking colors, so that's why I went the candy style red powder coat. I tried the flakes on my blue bike, but it didn't work out. It's bled, so that's not gonna be a good example of making a bike that you would like. Kevin Clear said, mini bikes are cheap until you want to go fast and look pretty. Yes, you are exactly correct when it comes to that. It's really just many options, and that's why, you know, just like Rick Ross, he just bought the bike from Mini Viklas. It's a trike. Now, I know Mini Viklas, he puts a lot of time and energy into the presentation of his bikes, the designs of his bikes, and even really just the overall look and feel of his bikes. So at that point, mini bikes become cheaper. But if you're looking for a more affordable bike like the Mavic or a Megamoto, it will still be expensive in some way, form, or fashion, but just not as expensive as something like this, you know. It really, once again, boils down to what you want and what are your goals that you're achieving with your bike. Ant said, could I turn my 70 millimeter board on my 224 into a 72 millimeter? I want to have a budget 236 cruiser. All right, understandable. The answer is yes, you can. How good it will work out in the long run or the longevity of what your engine is going to be, I personally can't tell you. You possibly will have to hone out your block after it gets sleeved just so the piston fits good. Depending on your desired preference. If you have one, it really just all depends. But it is possible, you can do that. That's pretty much what any 3-inch block is. It's pretty much a bare block being bored out and sleeved to the piston desire that the person or the performance shop or the builder chooses, you know. I have a 212 and another muscle motor frame. I was thinking of a Predator 301cc on another spare frame I have. I'm not really a big block fan, I guess I would say. I feel like they are dope. It's just a simple fact, going back to my further streams that I brought up about, when it comes to a small block, making a small block fast is much more difficult rather than making a big block fast. fast. And yes, there, in my opinion, are more parts, and the parts are less expensive rather than switching over to a 301 or a 420, I believe, or a 459, I think I've been hearing about. So it really goes based off your budget once again. I feel like it'd be dope. I see a lot of big block people that have big blocks on mini bikes, and I think it's just a nice creation in what they're doing. But me personally, I'm just not really a big block fan. I've always been a huge fan of small blocks. I always tinker with small blocks. So that's why I chose to go with small blocks. And once you go big block, you got to start making a lot of adjustments, whether it's motor placement, rear tire setup, drivetrain setup, carburetor adjustment, tuning. If you want to go install billet parts, it becomes much more difficult. So it's just a bunch of things that will fly over my head personally that I'd rather not deal with. With a small block, I get the basic understanding of how the engine works, the whole concept and everything, and I can pretty much explain things more easier and a lot better to people when people ask certain questions about small blocks. So that's my personal preference on the small blocks, and yeah, I'm gonna just shut up. Shout out to Hayden. He just sent 99 cents, y'all. Appreciate you, my guy. Man, that's tight, man. I appreciate y'all donating, man. Like I said yesterday, the more y'all help me, the more I can do and the more I can help y'all. So it's gonna be a revolving circle of me help you, you help me, I help you, you help somebody else, I help somebody else. That's just how life works. And the 224 is a Ducar block, which is why I'm asking, since I'm guessing it can handle the big bore. That I can't deny or say will work. I know it is possible. I just don't know how long it will last just off my personal experience. I don't know. I wish I could tell you, but I just don't know. What do catch cans do and why do you need them? Now, catch cans pretty much do the exact same thing that's in their name. They pretty much, depending on how you set it up, don't get me wrong, if you got it set up like me, pretty much doesn't do nothing for you besides just travel fluid. Now, a catch can is meant to catch, as we're going to use the concept of a car. A catch can pretty much catches excess fluid such as oil that escapes the places where it needs to be. So rather it dropping onto the floor, dropping onto the engine, the drivetrain, belt, or wherever, it goes into a little thing like a catch can, which I don't have, but y'all seen it on the red bike. It's sitting right, let's see if I can point my finger at it. Bow. Sitting right there. It's meant to catch excess fluids that pretty much goes to where it's not supposed to be or escapes from where it's supposed to be. You need them, in my opinion, for the mini bikes. I can say you need it just because of the simple fact that you don't want oil on any of your slick tires. Now, if you got a slick, any oil, water, soap, oil, WD-40, well, let me not say WD-40. Anything with a slippery base, oil-based material will cause you to either slide, lose brakes, many other things. The way I got it set up, any excess oil pretty much goes through the catch can and drips off into the hose onto the ground. Now that's not good. I am going to put a shutoff valve that way where I get off the track, I can just open it and the excess fluid can drain off somewhere into the dirt, into a oil capture can, something. But that's pretty much what a catch can does. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all coming with some good questions tonight. I really appreciate it. We got like 15 minutes, possibly 10 minutes left on this, so I'm gonna try to get as many questions in as I can because I still got a job, so I gotta get ready for work. Let me check. Facebook, Jake Mo said, creativity is key. Yes, it is, because like I said, in my opinion, a mini bike is pretty much, you get the option to create anything in a form and fashion that you want, desired, based off the desire of your images and what you're trying to pretty much present to the world, or just to yourself also. 921 said, good looking mini bike, man. I appreciate it, my guy. Hayden said, I just picked up a motor box and put a 212 on it. No exhaust fits. Should I put the Go Power Sports exhaust welder on? A Motovox exhaust. Motovox. I know sometimes you may need to get a custom-made exhaust depending on the company that you're shopping with. I have made a few custom exhausts for a few people that own Motovoxes, just because of the simple fact that we couldn't find any exhaust that fits good without burning them or setting their seat on fire. So at that point, I feel like the weld-on kit that Go Power Sports sells would be a good thing for you to learn, and you can pretty much position the exhaust pretty much any way that you feel like will fit and work best for you. Thoughts on the new Coleman with rear suspension and torque converter? I haven't seen the new Coleman, so I don't know the new Coleman, so I don't know much about the bike. I would say I just don't know, so I can't speak much on it. Like I said before, I'm trying to be as open, as honest with y'all as I can when y'all ask me these questions, so that is me just being totally open and honest. Only any recommendations on a good chain tensioner? Now, I would say yes and no. Now, there's advantages and there's disadvantages on the type of chain tensioner that you may use, or roller, what they call them, chain roller. I know there's plastic chain tensioner rollers, and I know there are chain tensioner rollers made out of some type of aluminum or some type of metal. So there's goods and there's bad. If you do go with a chain tensioner, I recommend a rubber one, just because of the simple fact that you won't be rubbing metal and metal together. So less friction, less heat, and less material being ripped away just because of the fact that it's metal on metal contact. Now the downside with the rubber rollers or chain tensioners, eventually they are going to wear out. If you're, I know, seen some people just using a skateboard wheel or some type of wheel that just takes up enough space so the chain gets tight enough, it will wear off. But in my opinion, it'd be a safer option. Let's see. Chain tensioners, and it also goes based off the type of bike and your setup that you are going to be using. But if you are looking for a plastic style chain tensioner that will work good, if you go Power Sports and type in chain tensioner roller kit, I personally would choose that just because it sits, and for one, it's sitting on a bearing, so it's not just rolling on any type of bushing or any type of spacer. This one's actually being moved by a bearing, and it is plastic, so it won't cause as much heat and it won't take off as much materials such as a metal one would. Yeah. What's the new Go Power Sports frame look like? Unfortunately, you will have to wait and stay tuned for the drop of it. I can't release any details. I wish I could. I will tell you this. It is going to be amazing. It looks amazing, so you should be super excited and be on the lookout for the frame. I just can't release any details just because it just haven't dropped yet, so I just can't give out those details. But stay tuned. It's going to look really good, so yes. Raul said, what's good, Dae? What's good, my G? Salute, my boy. Jake Mo said, I seen it. Yes, some people have seen it, and Jake Mo just said he's seen it. It looks good. So if Jake Mo gives an approval, it's going to be a good frame. If y'all don't know Jake Mo is a fabricator, is a wonderful fabricator. Jake Mo, please get in my DM, because I did DM you and you didn't DM me back, so I'm pretty hurt. But yeah, so Jake Mo does fabricating, man, amazing TIG welder, just outstanding, man, when it comes to creativity and designs for mini bikes, exhaust. So even if you need a custom exhaust done, Jake Mo could possibly do one if you got time. So yeah, booyah. Side exit 3-stage. I had one. Oh my gosh. I am yawning again. I gotta stop doing that. All right, let's see. I see somebody just asked a question on Facebook. Keelan Maryland mini bikes checking in. What's good, my G? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Somebody, Keelan said, bigger cam with small rockers or small cam with 1.2s or roll 3 rockers. What's your take or opinion? All right. So for those who may not understand what rockers are, I don't have any here at the moment, so I can't show y'all. But rockers pretty much strengthens your motor and strengthens. Let me repeat that. How can I explain this? Let's talk about his question first before I try to explain it. I got to think about it. This question might pop back up tomorrow too. Bigger cam with small rockers or small cam with 1.2 or 1.3 rockers. It really all goes based off what you're trying to achieve, the weight of the jockey, how the engine is set up, and the length of the race that you're aiming for, and the weight, how much lift your head can take. Let's say the billy head, the mofo, let's see, 14cc or 18cc chamber head. Those are rated up to 500 lifts, so that way you can run a big cam with a high ratio of rockers. Now, when I say ratio, you have your 1-to-0 ratio rockers, you have your 1-to-1s, you have your 1-to-2s, you have your 1-to-3s. You might find some other type of style ratio rockers with a different company that I just don't know of yet. The ratio of your rockers pretty much increases. Do I got a cam here? I do have a cam, I just gotta find it. I think I have one right here. No, that's not a cam. So I wish I had a cam. It's somewhere around here. But the ratio of the rockers pretty much increase the lift of your cam, meaning the lift pretty much, how can I explain this? I don't know how to explain that part, but I know it increases the ratio. The ratio increases the lift of the cams. Jake Mo could possibly explain better, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. My personal opinion, it really varies, so my personal opinion really wouldn't matter. It really goes based off how the engine is set up, the weight of the jockey, and how much lift your head can take, and pretty much the length of the race that you're going for, and the gearing that you're going for. Because you can have a big cam with high lift with a head that can take it, but if your jockey is too heavy and your gear ratio is wrong, you will never see the motor achieve the speed or the RPMs that it's actually meant for. So it is so much that goes into the thought process of building an engine for on what platform, for this race, for this gear ratio, for this jockey. So those are all the factors that you really got to sit back and listen to and think about when you're choosing certain things like your roller rockers to pair up with your cam. So I'm sorry I couldn't answer your question directly, but I just wanted you to get a broad look of what it looks like when somebody's building an engine for. Yeah, just when somebody's building an engine, honestly. What are your thoughts on the 1-3 ratio stamp rockers? If I remember, GPS has them, right? Let's pull them up. 1.3 stamp rockers. Let's just put 1-3 rockers. See if I can find them rockers. I don't think we have the 1-3 stamp rockers. If we do, I just can't find them at the moment. Once again, it all goes based off what you're doing for your bike, well, your engine. If you are running a cam that can handle or is not too big of a lift for the 1-3 stamp rockers and take, or you're building an engine that's not going to have too high RPMs, but you want a ratio that's higher than the ones that you want, and you just don't have the budget for the roller rockers, you can use stamp rockers. I haven't personally used them, so I can't say if they're good or bad at the moment. I don't see why not. Some people, then it also depends on what you're doing, because if you're racing Go-karts, go-kart leagues have certain restrictions on their engine. You might want a stock appearing rocker setup, which would be stamped rockers in this case, and you can up your lift on your engine using those stamped rockers that look stock appearing. So it's tricks to it, it's trades to it. This is something where it gets real deep into it. So I don't see if they would be, I don't think they would be good in my opinion. I think they would still be good. It just all depends on pretty much what you're using it for and how you're using it. 921 Jam said, my next bike will be a drag frame. Can't wait to see the new frame you were talking about. I can't wait to show y'all the new frame. You feel me? Lift times ratio equals, yes. Shout out to Nubs with Guns. He always comes in and supports the stream, so I appreciate you for tuning in. Y'all will be ending this stream very shortly in about 2 minutes or so, so I'm trying to get to everybody's questions real quick before I end the stream, all right? Let's see here. What's a good, reliable setup to do about 50 miles per hour consistently without needing to spend a lot of time cooling down? If you want to do a good build, this will be the last question I will be answering for the night, y'all. Sorry, but I do got to get prepared for work. I got to clean up, eat, all that good stuff. I'm in the shower. I will go to stage 2 setup of some build, meaning you got your rod, you got your cam, you got your flywheel. Aftermarket parts, of course. You got your rod, your cam, your flywheel, some type of heavier springs in your engine, and higher compression. A head gasket that's going to raise your compression. That's what I would go with for reliable, which we call a stage 2 out here now. Not used to that. Back home we call it semi-built, or if you have head work fully built at that point. It just all depends on what you're doing. But appreciate everybody for tuning in. Unfortunately, I got to end this live short. Appreciate everybody that sent donations, man. It really means a lot to me that y'all are appreciating this and getting a kick out of this and getting answers that you may normally not get from anybody else. So this is the time. This is the space. It's your boy DaeDae. I am unfortunately out of here. So if you're new, appreciate you for tuning in. And don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, turn on post notifications and all that good stuff. So I just want to say thank y'all. Good night. I hope you have a blessed one. And I will catch y'all hopefully tomorrow. Don't forget, if you're coming to the GPS 180, we highly suggest that you order your parts online and place it in store because it will be crowded and packed. So we just want to make sure everybody get their parts that they need necessary. And yeah, that's all I got to say. So I will catch y'all later, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm planning on doing this stream up to Friday. I may not be doing this Saturday because I will be at the 180. So yeah, stay tuned. If y'all want to see more of the 180, go ahead and follow Go Power Sports on all social media platforms. You could follow me. You could go follow Cars and Cameras. Black66 will be there. Rick Watson with Busted Knuckles will be there. Jack Ramsey will be there. So many people that will be there. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all have a good night. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I am out of here. Oh, wait. I ain't do it. Wait. All right. Bye.